You are listening to an All Games Radio Network broadcast of AllGames.com.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody though.
Welcome, geeks, gamers, furries, and ninja robots. This is HorsePLAY Live. Today is Thursday, September 28th, and this is episode 198 of HorsePLAY. We're lazily going to title this one Destiny 2 and Hugh Hefner's 20 Wives. That's his legacy. He's just recently passed away. You know, we might not even get to the news, so, you know, top of the show, bad news, get out of the way. Hugh Hefner passed away.
I didn't know he died.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh shit! I just blew your mind, huh? Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I don't know what to think now. Just wow.
It's just great that you're looking at the show notes and then that didn't click still. Like, why are we talking about Hugh Hefner? What did he do?
Hugh Hefner. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Wow.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to feel. Good night, everybody.
91, you know, he lived a full life, you know, so it's not the ultimate shocker, but it's like, that one just kind of just swooped in and is like, oh, okay. And then, you know, it was that and like all the talk about the proposed tax code and how they're still trying to push the repeal of Obamacare and healthcare reform, getting that right and all this stuff. It's like, oof, a lot of politics. And Hugh Hefner's dead.
It's like somebody told me. It's like if Obama had legalized crack, Trump would try and find a way to get rid of it. Sad but true.
Yeah, you know. I think. You know, people talk about Canada, and Canada, they got a good deal, but they pay taxes out the ass. And for them, because everybody gets health care, to get simple procedures done, even just like some like tests done, some diagnostics, you know, you're on a waiting list for months sometimes. So people have broken legs and all kinds of pains, and they're just living with it until they can see a doctor. It says, you know, take the good with the bad. We're on the opposite spectrum. You know, healthcare comes at a premium. But, you know, there's a happy medium somewhere. I don't think we found it yet. But,
I guess.
Not to get too political. I'm your ball bear lizard host, and usually I'm not very political. My name is Yogizilla. Tonight we have WarChild with us. And that's it. It's just us, the dynamic duo. It's been a dynamic duo for a while. It's either WarChild joins me or Bean and Hat, but never both in the same time. They might be the same person. Maybe that's the secret.
Yeah, okay. Well, I can't put a hat on over these dreadlocks, so sorry. Yeah, it's been a while though, man. I mean, every time the funny thing is I came in on the last show and I only got to the end. It's like I came in at the end.
You came as soon as we stopped the recording, like the moment we did it, and then we saw it on Discord. Well, I didn't see it in Discord, but I heard like a cough, like a quick background noise, like you keyed up, and it was like just like I think it was the baby crying or something, like or like a cough. And I was like, oh, it's WarChild. We already knew it was you. We know your brand of background noise already.
I have a brand of background noise that's priceless. Background brand. BB.
Yep. Now, if you're new to the show, we do this show live at twitch.tv/Geeky Antics. And if you want to join the chat, you go to geekyantics.net/Discord. Discord's a free, program for chatting, and doing fun stuff, sharing photos and whatnot. So it's pretty cool if you ask me. Pretty tits, if I may say so. We do the show every Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. BT. So that's GMT. Yeah, that's right. I said that. Tits. Earlier in the day, at 5 p.m. Over at allgames.com, we have the HorsePLAY replay or reruns. So definitely check that out. Show them some love too. And quick disclaimer: this is an NSFW show, and it's definitely not safe for kids, and definitely not safe for work. I'm gonna reinforce that. Proceed at your own risk, but have fun. It's all in good fun. And yeah, that's the intro spiel. But let's catch up. It's been a while. Let's skip into our segment. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, and talk about what's been going on in our lives lately. And I'm gonna recap last week's random thought, which is incontinence is a cool word for a shitty concept. And right now, I must jinx myself because right now I'm feeling a little incontinence with the bubble guts. So I might be on a short time span here, or I might leave WarChild by himself. It's like, all right.
It's cool. Evelyn has been doing that all day and yesterday too. It's like the baby's farting. Wasn't ready for it.
Oh no, but I'm not talking about just flatulence. I'm talking about flatulence followed by oops.
She kind of, I don't know. She kind of did that just a little bit. Only it wasn't oops. It's like, here it comes, get ready. So,
yay.
slash tag fatherhood.
So a few things have gone on in the past couple of weeks. Fall TV started back up. A lot of good shows to look forward to. Some ones that come to mind for me are Lethal Weapon. I'm really enjoying that show. Lucifer. And I'm gonna say it. Star. I really dig that show. I think that the hot women might be part of it. I mean, think about it.
To watch Lucifer.
It's a fun romp.
Just the name.
I know. Yeah, it's irreverent, but not as irreverent as you would think. In fact, they go like you think it's gonna like kind of glorify him, but it actually, if you're God fearing, you can watch it and not feel dirty afterwards.
You say that. Feel dirty about everything. Everything, Yogi.
Now, the other show that I'm looking forward to is Legion, but I don't know when that comes back on. I can't wait to see what they do next with that show.
I'm behind, man. I gotta watch that and a bunch of other things.
Well, yeah, like the first half of that show, it's so confusing because you're basically seeing everything from his perspective, and his mind's all warped. And then everything starts piecing together because he's piecing his mind together, and all of a sudden everything's making sense and falling into place. Like, whoa, okay. And they have some really, really vague references to the X-Men universe. So there's, because you don't really get a sense it's a Marvel show at all until like those little hints are dropped. And then, there's also the awkward business of X-Men being the X-Men license, I think, for TV and movies is still owned by Fox.
Yeah.
So Marvel Studios can't make reference or anything in the MCU with this TV show or movie. They can't mention mutants. They can't mention the X-Men. Like, we know they're there, but they don't exist technically. Weird.
Well, apparently Inhumans don't exist either because they canceled that show before it even hit the network.
Oh, did it get canceled?
That's what I heard.
See, last I heard, I heard it was still going through.
The show's got to suck that bad when they cancel it before it sees the light of day.
Well, I'm really enjoying the Marvel shows, but I wonder how long they can keep going. Like eventually something's gonna give. I mean, I really enjoyed the Defenders, and then they got the Punisher show coming up.
Oh, that's gonna be good. It looks like it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I like how they did not really a remake of one for the trailer, but it's like they did the entire song of Metallica's One, but they did it to like the gun clicks and everything, and there's like a mini acoustic version of it in the beginning. But if you hadn't seen a trailer, it's a good trailer, like a really good trailer.
Yeah, I usually don't catch these trailers. I either purposely ignore them or I just miss them. So I just go into the show blind and completely fresh and just no expectations. Like, all right, show me what you got.
I had to go on YouTube and look at it because ever since the teaser and the Defenders, that's all I knew was Punisher. More Punisher.
That's true. But it's like the trailers always show the best parts, and then there's nothing to look forward to.
Yeah, that's true too.
At least with movies. With TV show, maybe not so much.
Movies are definitely guilty of doing that, especially what is that series? The Rec series. It's not really called Rec. It's called what is it? Quarantine. The Quarantine series is guilty of doing that because they basically just copied Rec, and yeah, messed that up too. I don't know. So many movies nowadays are copies of movies that have already come out.
Yeah, they find a formula that hits, and then they just repurpose it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, oh, this is gonna be great. Wait a minute, haven't I seen this movie before? No, you haven't? Okay, take your word for it.
Speaking of movies, Tyler earlier in the Discord shared a piece by HollywoodReporter.com about a reboot of Flight of the Navigator that's in the works. And the showrunner for Lucifer is doing it. And, I forgot this is a Henson Company property. So we should expect some animatronic type stuff and puppetry.
Was Flight of the Navigator, was that the one where the guy got a high score in the video game and they took him into space? No, that was The Last Starfighter. Never mind.
I was just going to say The Last Starfighter. I confused them too.
I wish they'd do a remake of that.
Yeah. Flight of the Navigator, I remember it, but I don't remember as well as The Last Starfighter. I always found that kid kind of creepy. I don't know why. But now I want to rewatch the old one. Then we had all the remakes. It was actually pretty good. I didn't get to see the whole thing, but from what I caught, pretty dope. Trying to think what other movies. The thing about I haven't watched that many movies lately. Just a lot of random sci-fi stuff.
I heard rumor that it actually was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be a multi-parter.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely I want to see it. I wouldn't mind it, but trouble for me is making time for movies now.
Yep. No, I hear ya. Like, I have the time, but by the time I have the free time, I just want to just chill. I'm like, I'm too tired.
I don't even know what chill is anymore.
Imagine going to a movie theater, you're so tired you just fall asleep. It's the perfect setting to fall asleep. If you have comfy enough chairs and it's dark.
I've done that before in the second Transformers movie because I mean, to be honest with you, the second Transformers movie wasn't that great. They kept talking about pyramids and everything, and the pyramids, the pyramids. I'm like, okay, cool. What next? The pyramids. So
everybody loves pyramids.
Yeah, it put me to sleep though. I'm like,
that's what their focus groups told them. How do you feel about pyramids? We love them. All right, everybody is unanimous. Everybody loves pyramids. We need more pyramids in this movie. How do you feel about Megan Fox?
Pyramids.
What about if she shows her ass? Oh!
Pyramids. Pyramids.
Pyramids.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much. There's what I'm trying to think of another movie I've seen recently. No, yeah, I haven't seen much either. And now they're talking about doing that subscription-based thing for movie watching. You get a movie pass, a monthly movie pass, and you can watch virtually unlimited movies.
I thought they weren't gonna do that. I mean, I could be wrong.
I don't know. I haven't kept up with it, but I mean, I can see it eventually being a thing.
It
just
would
because,
be nice.
Really, they make their money off of the concessions.
Mm-hmm.
If you got asses feeling
popcorn.
Yeah, and you got asses filling the seats, then that's good. How sad it is when you go to a movie theater and like you have the whole movie theater to yourself practically.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'd rather go and get my own popcorn or something. Because, I mean, I think the Werther's original popcorn is 10 times better than movie popcorn, but that's just me.
Werther's original?
Werther's original popcorn.
I love Werther's original. They make good shit.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Popcorn, caramel. I mean, you can't lose.
You would love Chicago's Nuts on Clark. That's the name of the company.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, it's a suspicious name, but they have really good caramel popcorn. Oh, it's really good. That's another thing, like caramel popcorn or like butter toffee popcorn is not what it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and it's mainly because they're catering to a wider audience, and so many people now have peanut allergies that they won't put nuts in there, and that's really what makes it when you get the nuts in there too. Like, oh. I
guess that explains a lot because it's like the recipe changes to the point where it's like you don't really recognize the recipe anymore. It's crazy stuff, man.
That one ingredient, man, changes the whole flavor.
Even Cracker Jacks don't even taste the same anymore.
See, with Cracker Jack, they finally wised up. If you look closely, you get there's Cracker Jack, there's regular Cracker Jack, and that's just caramel popcorn. But if you get the original Cracker Jack, it's the classic Cracker Jack, it has nuts. But they don't even put as much as they used to either.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's just like, here you go, enjoy.
It's like 20 kernels per peanut. That's like the ratio. It's like, ah.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen Poppycock anymore.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
I gotta look for it. Maybe I haven't noticed it, but it's like I used to always see it in the popcorn section. Now I'm like, oh, not there, huh?
I mean, even if it is there, it's like you don't really. It's not put to the front or anything.
We still see Fiddle Faddle or Crunch and Munch depending where you go. Like Fiddle Faddle is like where you'll see that more in like a Family Dollar or Dollar General.
Yeah, Dollar Tree. I mean, that's the best place to get it is a Dollar Tree.
Yep.
I can't do Dollar General, man. They just want too much. It's $2. Like, wait, what? Nah, he lost my business, man.
Yeah, but apparently they actually Family Dollar and Dollar General pay really well for what it is, and they have good benefits and good training. Like your most retail jobs, they're usually getting minimum wage or less if they get commissions. But commissions are so pitiful.
They better pay well. They make more than $1. Shoot.
Well, yeah, some of the folks in those places start at $10 an hour, which ain't bad at all for retail.
But I'm talking about you sitting here talking about you're a dollar store. More than $1? Yeah, you better pay well.
Yeah, that's true.
Pay your employee.
Yep. But
if it's a dollar store, you better pay me $2.
Well, I remember, for a while it was the 99-cent store. That was the big thing. You save a penny.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't stick around. Now it's just the dollar stores. But it's like really not that much stuff you get for $1. It's like McDonald's dollar plus menu, or value plus whatever they're calling it now.
Now you go to Dollar Tree, everything is $1. I don't care what it is. It could be like a roll of toilet paper. No, it might not be the best. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, it might not be the best toilet paper in the world, but it's gonna be $1.
Huh? That's true. But like Family Dollar and Dollar General have a really good selection, though. Like you find some really random shit in there. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So like you go to Dollar General, Dollar Tree to like stock up on shit to get a lot of quantity. If you want to like find, yeah. But if you want to like have like a good selection and like random shit, I think Family Dollar and Dollar General are better.
Yeah, I mean it is a quality, so you're right about that.
Cause you find some random shit in there, like, if you buy, I'll give you a good example. Now they have the most of the stores are getting the frozen food section, which is a big deal. Yeah, let's say you go into a Buy Low or a Food Lion, and you buy a box of Golden Crust beef patties, right?
Oh,
and 2 of them in the box, you might spend anywhere from $3 to $5. I'm just saying, throwing a number out there, right?
Yeah.
When you go to Family Dollar, for example, they have individually wrapped $1 a pop. It's like, so I paid for the box.
That's true. The funny thing about Family Dollar is the toys. Because you'll go in there and you'll see like Super American Hero and Spider-Man, and it'll be like Superman and Batman and like a random G.I. Joe put together. Super American Hero.
Yeah.
Super Mercado.
They got some. Oh, excuse me. They got some neat toys in there though. Even the knockoffs, they got some cool stuff in there. Little knockoff Hot Wheels and stuff.
Wheels of Fire or like I don't know. I can't think of a bootleg name right now.
Wheels of Fire.
Warm spinners.
You know what I missed? That's talking about that? Micro Machines.
Oh my god, yeah, and the commercial.
Yeah, the commercials are great. And this was a great concept, but you knew that it wasn't gonna last long because some idiot parent would get it for like the little child, and then the kid will choke on it. It's like, oh boy, like, no, it has the age limit on there, but man, I just loved it because it's like they're super tiny and you can fit so many in the case. Like, oh, that's so cool.
I know. I had a Hot Wheels case and I put all of mine in there. But I thought as long as we had Toys R Us or something, it'd be good. But that's changing.
Yep. Well, Toys R Us is not gonna go away. They filed for bankruptcy, but it's a Chapter 11, so all that means is that they get to buy their time while they restructure their finances, and they get protection from all their creditors. So it's not the death knell necessarily.
I hope it's not, because it's Toys R Us, man.
I know.
That's my childhood. I wonder. It makes me wonder where my baby is gonna.
It's a lot of people's childhoods. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing like Toys R Us.
Well, there was, but everything just kind of faded out. Competition was fierce.
Yeah, you used to have KB stores was big.
Yep, KB store. You had there was one that was in Texas when I was young. It was like God, what the heck was it called?
Lionel Kitty City.
No, it was like this. I think it was pretty much the store of its own. Children's Palace or something like that, man. It actually rivaled Toys R Us because there's so many toys in there. And yeah, you just looked up one day and they were out of business. And they sold a bunch of stuff that you normally wouldn't see in Toys R Us. Like any toy that was brand new on the market and somebody was trying to get started, they would sell it. You know, they would push it. Because I remember my mom got me it was called Sunman. It was a line of toys that was all different races and from different backgrounds. But yeah, you don't see anything about that anymore.
Damn. I also remember going to multiple Toys R Us's, and they used to be set up like like Home Depots, you know, with like really high ceilings and like a warehouse, you know, and just wall to wall toys.
Yep.
Now it's not much different than any other big box type of store.
That's true. Sad. That's true.
Yeah, we went into me and Beard got into this rant last time. You know, and his thing was, well, kids need to get out, and I'm like, well, you know, not even so much of that. It's just all people push now is electronics for gifts, you know, and for their kids, and that's cool and all, but like, just some simple toys that get you to use your imagination or, you know, build stuff, you know, and that's kind of what's lacking, or like, develop social skill like board games, you know.
Yeah. What is it called? Connect. Is it Connects? You know, the one where it's like the steel pieces and you got to tighten them down with bolts.
Oh, that's constructor. Erector set. Erector.
Is it Erector?
Yeah, it's Erector. It's Erector because I always laughed at it. Those were around. Those have been around for a long time. Like that and like Lincoln Logs are old school. But Erector set,
oh my god, Lincoln Logs, yeah.
But I used to always laugh at Erector set because I used to be like, "Hey, Erector."
Yeah.
It still makes me laugh. Erector. Good times.
I mean, even Legos aren't the same anymore, man. You know, because back then they gave you a base model of what you're supposed to build, and they're like, "Okay, go forth and build me a castle." Now it's like, just put the Lego on the side of this thing that's already pre-built, and you're good to go.
Yep. That's exactly what we were talking about last week too. Like, they focus so much on collectibles and model making that the whole imagination piece is thrown out the window.
Yeah.
You know, because it's all licensed stuff. And I get it as a big income source for them, but just give me like a bucket of Legos, you know, and maybe throw in a few instructions of some things that you suggest that I could do with that. But then let me run wild. Don't give me exactly enough pieces to make something, and that's it. Whatever, you know, because then what happens, you know, parents will buy these Lego sets for their kids. It'll be in of their favorite franchise, or Harry Potter, Star Wars, or whatever, and they'll build
Destiny.
Destiny. They'll build it, put it up on a shelf, and they'll never touch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm really congested.
Ugh, that's never fun. Please stand by. Technical difficulties.
Yep. Good radio right here. I took some sinus medication, but guess I needed to double up. So anyway,
I think it's catching up to everybody.
Yeah, I just want the weather to finally settle and be cool. Like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for.
Good luck with that.
Because summer starts and you're like, yay, pool weather. Then you're like, ah, fuck you. Let's get it over with. I'm done. Especially when you went to work in hot places like warehouses. Ugh. It's nasty.
Yeah.
And the gnats. Freaking gnats with no respect for personal space. All up in your grill.
Yeah, all day, every day. Ugh.
Mm.
Ugh. Gotta imagine them there in my face right now. I'm like, ooh.
And again, to all your nooks and crannies.
Especially your nose. It's like, get up in that nose, it's done. It's over.
Ugh.
They're gonna take your body over.
Can you imagine? It's like a horror movie right there. So, hey, before we jump into the Destiny 2 talk, you had a story to share a couple weeks back. Do you remember it? Or did you get over the rant?
God, I can't even remember, man. I think I got over it. It just, when you see stuff. Oh, I think it was about the dude that. Okay, so when Hurricane Irma was going on, I was driving to work, right? And there was a dude in a truck. Now, it's not like hurricane weather, but it's pouring down enough to make the road slick. So I'm following this dude, and everything looks like it's going okay. All of a sudden, he starts to hydroplane in front of me. And I'm sitting here like, oh, sure. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, I dropped so many F-bombs. And I thought that there was about to be a serious accident because I'm sitting here, and he starts hydroplaning to the other lane. So I'm looking up and I see the car next to me, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, it's going to hit the car. But miraculously, it doesn't hit the car. It just skids by, and it continues to skid without getting hit by any cars, man. And the whole time, everything is going in slow motion. I mean, I've never been in an accident like this before, or not an accident, but I've never witnessed anything like this before. So everything is going in slow motion. The car continues to skid, and then it finally hits the ditch and just or the truck, continues to skid, and it hits the ditch perfectly, and it gets lodged in there perfectly. And the only thing I could do at this point is just call the emergency line. I'm sitting here like, yeah, there's a guy that slid in front of me, and he's in the ditch now. Can you send some people to save him? And basically what I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, don't be stupid. Please value your life and what you got going on. And if it rains hard and you're going at least, say, 90 miles per hour, don't drive 90 miles per hour in the rain.
Now, was it a semi?
No, this was like your typical pickup truck. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he just said, you know what? I feel like hauling it today. And you look up and he's just skidding across the entire lane, and boom, right into the water. Yeah, right into the ditch.
That's the problem with pickups, is that you feel so invincible in them because you're high off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you get one of those small toy pickups where it's short, it's shorter than that, like a SUV, and it's tiny, small bed. It's at that point, it's why even bother? What are you gonna do with that?
I mean,
have a tailgate party of 2 in the back of on the flatbed.
All I know is that's pretty much what happened after he hit that ditch, man. Because the only thing he could do is have a tailgate party. He wasn't going anywhere for a while.
Damn.
Barbecue in Hurricane Irma. It's gonna cook the storm away. That's all it can do.
Could be worse things.
I guess. I ain't trying to find him.
That'd be kind of fun just to say you did it through the hurricane. I was barbecuing. It's oh, okay. Sure.
After I put my truck in the ditch, I just started to barbecue. It was awesome. All you can do at that point is be like, is that right? Huh. Interesting. Huh.
Speaking of trucks, have you noticed that the cops are pulling over a lot more commercial vehicles lately?
Yeah. I wonder why. I mean, I don't know. There's got to be something going on. pulling over a bunch of vehicles. It kind of makes you think. It's like, is it a legal drug trade? Is there like weapon shipments, or is it just something simple like we
Well,
need
something
revenue?
weird's going on because I saw like 3 cops checking out a pickup truck at the gas station. I'm like, and all these trucks, all these big vehicles were being pulled over, and most of them were commercial. I'm like, what's going on there? Huh. I mean, I get it, towards the end of the month, they deny it, but, cops do have quotas.
Yeah.
So they start getting a little more aggressive. Things that they normally would let slide, they start pulling you over for,
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's just weird. I noticed so many trucks just pulled over on the side. I'm like, that's gotta suck for them. They're gonna be late.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and they probably get some penalties if they are late. It's that easy, man.
Mm-hmm. And if they're an owner-operator, they're taking most of that hit.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. I don't know, man. I wish I knew what was going on.
Only in Georgia.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know, though. Now you got me thinking about this caramel popcorn. I might have some after the show. Probably not a good thing to snack on during the show. I'll be like, munch.
Go ham on it.
Yeah, I still got some popcorn I brought from Chicago. And then I highly recommend, if you go to Bilo's, you know how they have the Southeast Grocers, SE Grocers brand? It's like they're great value. Well, they got this like premium snack line. And one of the ones they have is a popcorn blend called a Chicago style. And it sounds gross, but it's actually really delicious. It's like it's Chicago style caramel corn with cheesy popcorn.
I can't get down with that flavor. Like caramel corn and cheese, it just I don't know why. Just bad combination to me.
Oh, so you don't like those big old buckets that people tend to gift, but they can't think of what else to get? Those giant buckets,
I mean, I like
the giant tins, and it usually has 3 compartments. One's caramel.
I don't mind the
butter.
giant buckets. I don't mind the giant buckets. Yeah, I usually attack the caramel anyway, but it's like I can't mix the cheese and the caramel. It just seemed kind of weird, blasphemous.
I thought so at first, but sweet and salty goes well together. It's like my catchphrase: sweet and salty, man. Anytime they come out with a sweet and salty anything, I'm like, I'm on it. Like Chex Mix, sweet and salty mix. Oh, so good.
Well, yeah, I mean that makes sense. Turtle works out. That's my favorite one.
Oh, everybody loves turtle.
Turtle and the Muddy Buddies.
Yep.
Those are good.
Oh God, don't bring those to my house. Especially with the girls around. Oh boy.
I heard WarChild brought some Muddy Buddies. Where is he at? Like, you ain't getting none.
That's
Step
like
out.
anytime I have a long day at work and I come home, it's like one of the first thing I usually hear is, "You have any chocolate?"
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Do I look like a Pez dispenser that just throws out bonbons and shit?
I mean, if you're working, you might as well be. It might not be candy, but you got money coming out of your head.
So usually, on the way back home, I make a stop, gas station or convenience store, get some quick little snacks. 'Cause I know I'm gonna get the question. It's like I'd rather just bring it ahead of time than be asked to go back out. 'Cause once I get home, pants are coming off, and I'm just gonna chill. Let's go. I'm not getting back in the car. Nope.
Yeah, go.
You have to have a very compelling reason. I'm driving around all day, feet are hurting. I just want to just chill.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, oh, go to the store and buy some food. No, we're ordering delivery, but they don't deliver. We'll find someone that does.
Yeah, I got to do a pickup after the show, so I know how it is.
Oh yeah,
how it is.
The cravings, man. That's like a universal thing with women. They just get random cravings, and it's like, whatever time it is, you better find someone that has something. You know what I'm in the mood for? Some chocolate ice cream. Like, okay. No. I want ice cream sandwiches. No. I want drumsticks. Like, oh my god.
They do sound good though. I'm not even gonna lie. They had a special on Bluebell ice cream in Kroger. $4 per bucket. Man.
Bluebell's good. I like Bluebell. And they give you the big old buckets.
Yeah. But I mean, $4 per bucket, man. We got so much ice cream in there, mainly because of me. We couldn't even close the refrigerator. Well, we could barely close the freezer. I made it work.
Yeah, those are usually like $6. They're usually like $6 buckets. Yeah, they use like $6 buckets, so
yeah, 6 to 7, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I would have just done that. See, I love getting ice cream, but it's like I won't have ice cream all the time. It's just one of the things that's like when it's really hot, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna get a big old bowl of ice cream, you know?
Yeah.
But like, if there's ice cream in the freezer, that shit won't last. You know, if I get it at the beginning of the week, this is a bad play because I will be working, I barely be home, and then next thing you know, a weekend come like, oh, I'm gonna have me a bowl of ice cream.
Yep. That's what my dad always ended up getting ice cream. He knew we didn't like until eventually we learned how to like blue or what? Not blue walnut.
Pistachio.
Nah, it was a walnut ice cream.
Oh, I love anything with like nice crunch in it. That's like my favorite. Yeah,
it was black walnut. That's what it was.
Oh, black walnut.
Nobody in the house liked it until my brother and I learned to like it. You know, you just throw some sugar on it, you're good.
Some butter pecan. Love me some butter pecan.
All day. Just throw some sugar on it. Be alright.
Rub some rubber tussin on it. Not what I have last from Bluebell, I think it was, and actually I might be confusing. I always confuse Bluebell and Blue Bunny.
I can never confuse the two.
Which one? The round bucket is Bluebell, ain't it?
Round bucket.
Yeah. And Blue Bunny's the one that's like the half gallon.
Yeah, kind of like oval shape or something.
Yeah, like Briars does and whatnot. Yeah. Bluebell. I got the Bluebell. It was like I forgot what the name of it was, but it had like chocolate covered pretzels and all this other shit in there. Oh, it's fantastic.
I think I know the one you're talking about because I ended up buying that. It was like the Bluebell comes up with these hard names, and when they usually the ice cream is just it's spot on. Like it took me a minute to learn cookie two-step.
Oh,
and
yeah, that was good. I might get that this weekend actually. I think, ooh yeah, cookie dough. Let's go. That sounds good.
It's chocolate chip cookie dough and cookies and cream ice cream put into one. I was like,
yeah. Actually, I had a tough choice between that one and the one I ended up getting. But now this weekend I'm gonna get cookie two-step. That's a no-brainer. I mean, cookies and cream and cookie dough, best of both worlds.
If you can find it, get it. You know, because I mean, I felt bad. It took me forever, but I felt bad because I did find it. There was a kind of an elderly lady in front of me, and you know, she's standing in front of the ice cream section the whole time. I'm sitting here like, don't get it. So as soon as I saw she wasn't getting it, I'm like, excuse me. I reached right over her, pulled the ice cream out, and proceeded to. I helped her. You know, I helped her get figure out how to use the self checkout and everything because I felt kind of bad, man, because I kind of bogarted that ice cream, but you know.
Lol.
I was like, I gotta get that ice cream. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. And nothing in this world gonna stop me from getting it. Because I was hunting for this ice cream, at least for a good, I want to say a good week.
Dude, they keep that one fully stocked at Arabilo, right up the road from me.
Oh,
and
man.
it's funny because I got the one that I got because it was, they said new. It's like new flavor. Like, oh, I gotta try this.
Yeah. Cookie two-step ain't no joke, man.
Yeah, they got a bunch of good flavors. I just can't think of them right now, but they're all they probably have the most unique flavors really outside of Ben and Jerry's. You know,
Yeah.
I think they have the most unique flavors because Breyers is good, but they tend to stick to like basic kind of stuff. You know, vanilla bean, butter pecan. You know, your chocolate, your strawberry, your Neapolitan.
I think Ben and Jerry's. Yeah, I can't even do Neapolitan.
Oh God, you know that's the thing. The problem is you have a bunch of people to feed and no one can agree. It's like, oh, let's get a big old bucket of Neapolitan. And to me, it's just a sin because, like, one, the flavors are touching. So if you're in the mood for one specific flavor and you happen to scoop the wrong way, like, fuck. And two is, to me, it's so tragic to just be a basic bitch and be like, I want to have me a chocolate ice cream. I want to have me a strawberry ice cream. It's like, it's so boring. It's so basic. Like, I want some texture in there.
Flavor at least.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit. Like, if you're gonna do vanilla, how about vanilla caramel swirl? Okay. You know?
I don't even like doing vanilla bean. It's like, it's about like Sean Bean. It's predictable. You know, vanilla bean is gonna taste kind of plain, and you know Sean Bean is gonna die and everything. So I mean,
yeah,
it is. You know what you're getting into.
Poor Sean Bean.
Sean Bean in a Furby movie. Furby, like to save the children. He's dead. He's dead, Jim. He's dead.
Yeah, he's a whole different character when he has his hair long. It's like, oh yeah, Sean Bean.
He still dies.
Yeah, that's true. But he dies with style usually.
Yeah, I guess
when he has short hair, he tends to get chumped more, like getting shot in the back.
Yeah, when you put it like that, yeah. Although Game of Thrones, I mean, he had long hair for a minute, then it ended up being short. You catch my drift.
Yeah.
Haha. Morbid humor.
So Destiny 2, I'm playing on Xbox One, you're playing on PS4. I know you're loving it, that's your stress reliever.
Oh my god, yes.
It's quickly becoming the go-to, not because it's the game I prefer to play, but that's what all my friends are playing. And, you know, I really enjoy it. I'm just going to go out and say it. I feel like this would have been better if Destiny 1 didn't exist and this was the game that came out. Then it would have been awesome.
Yes. I agree.
You know,
I definitely agree.
So everybody getting butthurt when people joke and say, "Oh, it's Destiny 1.5," but really, that's what it feels like. Like they played it really safe. They took the things that worked from the first game. They tweaked very few things. I mean, the only thing that really stands out that they changed was getting rid of the weapon forging aspect, which I kind of liked. So you could roll the stats that you like, and they introduced mods.
Yeah, but the mods aren't really, from what I hear, they're having issues with they're just having issues with the mods because the speed mod doesn't work. The resilience mod, I think, it works okay, and the health mod is pretty much what you want to go for. Plus, I kind of missed the different choices of weapon because you've got when you pick up one weapon, you've picked them all up.
Yeah.
I think on one hand, they're trying to get everybody to figure out what weapon really works for them. But it's just it gets kind of boring sometimes because you're like, oh, I've gotten this weapon. Let me just go ahead and break it down for parts.
I also don't like the way they've slotted the weapons. And now you got your power weapons, your kinetic weapons, and your elemental weapons. So that's kind of stupid because I used to like slotting one element in one hand and another element in the other slot. You know, like now you can't really do that. It's just it's weird.
it's mainly because they did away with the elemental weapon in the first slot, like they did in the first Destiny. So because of that, it's like you get stuck with, you know, 2 machine guns, which is kind of cool, but you know, again, it's 2 machine guns, and then you have to switch between using your energy weapon and then back to your power or to your kinetic weapon or your power weapon in order to really make a difference.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to force the different aspects of you know, use your energy weapon and lower the shields, and once you get done, that's when you can go ahead and hit them hard.
With the kinetic weapon, yeah.
Yeah, but some weapons just kind of suck. Like, the worst weapon in that game is the fighting lion. It's like a exotic grenade launcher that shoots 1 grenade, and you know, it's supposed to. I think what's supposed to happen is you knock the shield down with the grenade, it'll automatically recharge, and you can get another shot. But in all actuality, what happens is you shoot the shield down with the grenade, and it doesn't do any damage. It's just kind of like boom, there. So and then it takes forever to reload. It's just one of the worst weapons in the game.
Yeah.
It's not the worst.
And I'm only like level 12, so like I'm in that really awkward phase where everything sucks. See, and I also felt like with Destiny, when you were rising up through the levels, I felt a lot more satisfied with the drops. Now I'm getting shit, I'm like, like the loot doesn't feel as satisfying to me. But it's finally opening up now. Like, I'm getting to the point where where characters will offer you exotics, but it's like, I don't want an exotic because I can only have so many of them at once equipped. Like, I want give me a solid legendary, or even I'll even take a solid blue weapon. Like rocking all these greens and whites, and I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, some of the weapons just get kind of repetitive, and then I'd say the only thing that's really making it worthwhile right now is the faction rally, where you can go ahead and join a faction, and you know, if your faction wins, you get a discount on the weapon for rally. But if your faction doesn't win, then you know you got to pay like 50,000 glimmer for that one weapon.
Yeah, I heard about that. Like, there's so much focus on endgame now. Everybody's like, "Oh, do your challenges." Like, I can't do because I didn't finish the story yet. Oh, you should do this. Oh, don't do your don't do these missions until you max out, or else you're gonna get crappy drops. Like, oh god, I can't do shit other than do Crucible and like do the little like adventures in the different worlds. You know, the little red swords on the map, which is cool. And the public events, you know. So you know, but it's like you feel so freaking gimped, and like, you know, the people that started, what is it, 2 or 3 weeks ago when it came out, they have such a leg up. They don't even want to, like, all my friends now, they moved on to other clans. Every single one of my friends is in a completely different class. Like, none of you could coordinate. Like, you couldn't even, like, unify a bit. It's like, everybody's doing their own thing. Like, you know, I feel like so many people get left behind the way they set it up now. You know?
Yeah.
But I still enjoy it. It's fun. I feel like they definitely push PvP even harder now, because like that's where I realized by grinding the PvP a little bit, I was getting good drops. I think, oh, okay, you know, and if you even look at it, the way they have the weapons set up now, even with the, you know, the level advantage turned off, which doesn't really mean shit.
Well, wait till Iron Banner.
Oh, I know, but you know. Even with level advantage turned off, it's still silly because people that have weapons that are better than yours just clearly win every time. Unless you get very lucky and juke the hell out of them, but you're putting in, you know, 5 times as many rounds into them, and they just, you know, everybody seems to be running freaking auto rifles, like, or some machine gun, because like, and you're dead.
I'm actually glad they started doing that again, because auto rifles, they just nerfed them to the point where they sucked.
Yeah, yeah, they did. So now they went the opposite direction, and it's like that's the new meta. And
Yeah.
I'm a scout rifle kind of guy. I like the versatility, but in a close range fight, you're rocking a scout rifle. It's like, poof, poof, poof. Oh, I'm dead. Unless you have the Midas multi tool. That one's still big. I know that's like
Yeah.
everybody has a Midas multi tool. Uriel's gift. I get killed by a lot. I'm trying to think what else.
But you can't get mad though, because anybody can get Mida. If it was like, you know, if it was like Destiny 1 to where you had to find Mida, that's one thing. But Mida was actually given to you in a quest, so
yeah,
can't get mad about it.
yeah.
Can't.
No, I can't wait to get that because that'll definitely be one of my go-tos. I even love the way it sounds. I love the way it sounds, you know. Something like they're throwing harpoons at you, you know.
Yeah, I can attest to the fact that the Mida is pretty awesome. It was one of my go-tos in Destiny 1, and it is still a go-to in Destiny 2.
Yeah, I love it.
But everybody complains about it.
Well, you know, it just sucks when you don't have it, or you know, most of your deaths are because of that.
Yeah.
You know,
I really want to get Hard Light. I thought that was one of my favorite weapons.
Yeah, Hard Light was good fun. I'm trying to remember the ones I liked. Was it Red Machine? Was one of them?
Oh, Red Death.
Red Death.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Of course, you know, everybody was running Thorn for a little while.
Thorn, I hated. I remember when I first got Thorn, before they did all the buffs and the nerfs, that weapon was so horrible. It's like you would sit there and you'd wait forever on just the reload animation, which was just, it was absolute crap. You know, you're sitting there, okay, you got to open up the gun, got to clean the barrel, all right, the barrel clean, no jams, all right. Oh, there's spikes on the gun, got to be careful, and the weapon is loaded, and I'm dead.
Yeah, but when they tweaked it, though, that weapon was just sick.
Everybody used it.
Because you had to play it a certain way. You have to play it a certain way. You have to know how to work the corners. So you get that last hit, go into cover, and then they die from the poison. It was so satisfying, you know?
Mm-hmm. I used to hate that weapon in the Crucible. I was never really big on the handguns, but...
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, hand cannons, they're cool, but it's like... You have to be so precise, and it changes your dodging pattern, too, if you want to line up those shots.
Yep.
You know, sometimes I want to just throw some spray down and run. I'm just saying.
Stop it!
It's like that. It's like the panic shot, like, and then you run away. Ah! You know, it's a perfectly legitimate.
My biggest problem is the fact that getting exotics, that's been kind of dumbed down, at least from my perspective, because, you know, I go and I do the public events, and usually whenever you make a public event heroic, it's supposed to increase your chance of getting exotics.
Yeah.
But I either end up with nothing but legendaries, which, you know, I'm cool with, or the exotics I do get are ones that I've already gotten. Because and I wouldn't mind getting one that I've gotten if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, the one that I've gotten is one I could easily do a quest for. You know, like when you first start the game, like you said, you end up getting the exotic quest or an exotic for a reward, and you don't really see anything different. So that's one thing that's kind of like, okay, I'm getting tired of getting this gun. You know, or I'm getting tired of getting this armor piece. Is there anything different? You know, it just gets kind of, the repetition gets kind of boring sometimes.
Well, you know, it also feels like, to that same point, it feels like it's no longer a big deal when you get an exotic. It's like they give them out like candy, so it devalues it. But, you know, also at the same time, you know, exotics look cool. But I get more excited about really cool legendaries. I rather, like, what was one of the big ones in Destiny 1? Was it the Black Death?
The Black Spindle?
It was a sniper rifle.
Yeah, Black Spindle. They ended up making that. Originally it was called Black Hammer.
That's the Black Hammer. There you go.
Yeah, but then they created an exotic version called the Spindle. But they actually, what did they do? They dumbed the gun down because if you got three headshots or 3 precision shots, it would automatically load your rifle with a bullet, not from reserves. So you could have no ammo and your gun's like, hey, you got 3 headshots. Here you go. You got 3 headshots. Here you go.
Yep.
People didn't like that, so they ended up taking away that perk and making it to where if you got 3 headshots or 3 precision shots, you would end up loading it from your reserves, which kind of nerfed it.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that change, actually. Which, I never had a problem with that, because if someone's that good at getting precision shots, then they deserve to get that perk. That's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to do. And you know what? Shame on the other team for letting them keep getting headshots. Like, usually someone has that, they're going to post up somewhere pretty obvious. Stop going down that way. Try to flank them. Or bum rush the shit out of them.
True.
But, yeah. That was unnecessary. And that was also a really good... And this is where one of the problems with Destiny comes up. They have 2 different audiences they're really serving. People that love the PvE and the people that love the PvP. And there's an overlap in the Venn diagram, but still, the problem with that is, you nerf a weapon because it ruins the PvP experience, but then you don't think, well, that just ruined the PvE experience, because that's a perfectly viable weapon that provided some kind of strategic advantage, like having unlimited ammo, virtually unlimited ammo. What a great thing to have, especially when you're running a really long raid. You don't have any more ammo packs.
It's perfectly true. It's true.
To me, Black Hammer was better for the PvE. I didn't like it as much as PvP personally, because I don't like just camping, just waiting for a shot, boom. Waiting for a shot, boom. That's not very fun to me. Yeah, you're right. And I didn't do PvP too much. I mean, it's not like I'm the best or the worst at it, but it just, I don't know, man. Sometimes it just got kind of repetitive. And that's one thing I worry about is the fact that, the new DLC isn't going to come until December, I believe. So that's just one thing. Yeah, you get it in December. We get it in June 2020.
Yeah. If you think about it, they said that they had a 10-year plan. I think that was a lie. Because if you look, they still got people playing this game. And the last game was 3 years. So what's another 3 years? That's 6 years. Okay. Can we add 3 more years on there? Yeah, sure. That'll be okay. How about we add a final year? That'll be 10 years. I mean, if you're gonna push the agenda, you might as well just make it worth this while and go ahead and do the 10-year plan. Make it good. You got the money. You've got the program for it. So all you got to do is just go through and do better than your last games, and you'll be fine. Or you'll just let Anthem take over.
Oh, God.
Look, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I just know that when it comes out, I'm probably going to play it.
Oh, I will for sure. But I'm not even trying to compare it to Destiny.
Yeah, remember what happened last time? The Division.
I still love the Division. And then,
I can't bring myself to play it again.
To me, like, that Division scratches a whole different itch than Destiny does. I have a lot of fun with that game, and it's a little less than the mechanics, and it's more about the tactics, and positioning. Whereas Destiny, I think, has moved a lot more away from the gunplay. I like the gunplay in Destiny and in Division more in some aspects, in a lot of aspects actually. But when it comes to like puzzle solving and just really cool boss mechanics, you know, Destiny has that.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
that's the only thing I would say about Division is the mechanics for boss battles, the variety in the encounters. That lacked a little bit, but that world is just gorgeous. You know, and I like just walking down the street and, you know, bullshitting. And survival is super fun. I still really enjoy that mode.
Yeah, I will give you that. When they came out with survival, it was actually cool, but you know, it just the bullet sponges got kind of old, and you know, me and Tuka ended up taking down this one guy. He was a cleaner. He had the what do you call it, the flamethrower and everything. He had the giant tanks on him. And I remember when we first encountered those guys, it's like we shot one of the tanks, and we're like, yeah, we got him. But it's basically he just said, "Ow, okay," and then he got right back up and he's chasing you.
Yeah.
I mean, that mechanic was cool, but other than that, it's like the other enemies were just straight up bullet sponges. And the story just, you know, you didn't really realize when you killed a main character until like you're like, oh, that was the main character. It's like the story would hype them up, and you know they just mix them in there with the regular enemies. You got to find them, then all of a sudden you're like, oh god, there's yellow ball. The yellow ball. Wait a minute, that was the main enemy. Okay.
Well, see, that's true. There's a lot less fanfare, but there was still more story and a more vibrant world than there was in Destiny 1. Destiny 1 was very empty, and the story was very flat. And they knew they had a problem to the point that they had their characters tell you, "Oh, you don't need to know that. You don't need to know that. This is what you really need to know."
Oh God, yeah. I don't even have time to explain.
Yeah, I didn't have time to explain. I didn't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain. Let's go. You know?
That was so annoying.
That was the whole attitude.
So annoying.
The whole attitude of Destiny was just, fuck you. You don't deserve an explanation. So now they got a story, and it's way better than the first one. I enjoy it. But even then, I'm not trying to look for flaws, but I can't help but say there's a lot of stuff in here that's really... Some of the dialogue, like, just makes me cringe. And just the premise of it is, like... It's a cool... I like the plot development. Like, it's a good story beats, but some of the stuff, like, I don't know, is a hard pill to swallow. Okay, I can buy it. Now I've come around to understand Cabal. Okay, I see why the Cabal are a running point, because, you know, they are probably the best strategists in the universe, you know, and just with sheer brute force, they can make shit happen. So, alright, I'll buy that. But then, like, at one point, you know, at a few points, they point out the characters talk about stuff that you clearly figured out, but then or things that are just so simple, so obvious, but they act like it's a huge reveal. Like, what was one of the ones they said? Wait, like they introduced. By the way, they almost assume you didn't play the original Destiny, right? So they introduce you to all the factions from scratch. Like, it's paint by numbers. Here are the little factions one by one, and this is who they are. Right, they're explaining their origin story all over again. Okay, fine, whatever. I get it. You're trying to ease the newer players in. So they're assuming that a lot of people, this will be their starting point. Fine. You know, because this is the first one. Then they had to cater to 2 generations. All right, I get it. This is like the real entry point for a lot of people. But, so I give them a pass on everything. But finally, I can't take it because they do this stupid shit like, you know, they introduced the freaking Taken. They're like, oh yeah, they use the power of the void to corrupt things and make and adulterate them into their own form. You know, those are no longer fallen, and they're no longer Cabal. They're something completely different. And
yeah, like, okay, the Taken should never have come back, in my opinion, because just it cheapened it. I didn't really like the Taken in the beginning of Destiny 1 because of the fact that it's just reskinned enemies that do different things. That's about it. You know, there was no real creativity put behind it. It's just
they did they did some better stuff with the modeling and like the animations. Like this, now they have a little more of their own personality, if you notice. But yeah, it was a lazy. That's To be honest, that's why I skipped the Taken King. I stopped at the Taken King. I saw the Taken in Destiny 1 because you know how they start populating the mobs in the regular world.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I saw them and all right, cool. But see, that's not even the problem I have. This is the problem I have. Then, I think it was Ikora goes, oh no, are the Cabal doing the same thing that Taken are doing, but except with the power of the light? I'm like, oh my god. Obviously, I figured that out like the moment I freaking like played the first chapter. It's like, oh, they're trying to use the power of the light to do the same thing that Taken were doing, but instead with the void, it's the light. Like, it was so obvious. Like, I wasn't even paying attention. And I'm not even, and I'm passively playing that. I'm not even really paying attention to the story, and I already saw that coming. Like,
yeah, I mean, it was bound to happen. I give you that, but I mean, I don't know. It was kind of cool to see it happen, but at the same time, it was like kind of not, because the ending boss battle didn't. Well,
I'm not that far, so I don't know.
Much. I just say that you can go in there with weapons that you're not used to using. Because I went straight to the main storyline, and I used I can't remember what I used exactly. I just remember I used. I didn't want to infuse because everybody's like, "Don't infuse your weapons." I said, "Okay," but then after a while, I'm like, "I'm just going to infuse my weapons." But before I did, I was using like I think a pulse rifle I didn't like, plus like maybe I don't know, maybe a fishbone or something. I don't know. I was using something I didn't. And I ended up beating the final boss. So, it's just, through the fishbone out of me died.
Nice. But seriously, though, if you haven't filled up all your character slots yet, go back and play the part I'm talking about on IO, and you'll see what I mean. It is cringeworthy because they're trying so hard to convey how important it is for you to be wowed by this string of events. Like the voice acting is great,
Yeah.
But like I couldn't get down with what she was saying because I'm like, this isn't a big reveal. Like a big reveal would be, I don't know, what's his face, Caden. If Caden like revealed that he's actually the Cabal leader, and he's actually not dumb, and it was he was faking it the whole time. That's the big reveal. Like, shit, didn't see that coming.
You talking about Cade?
Cade, yeah.
Cade 6. Well, the sad thing is Cade 6 actually has a really good back, but because everything was pretty much online, which, as far as the grimoire and the history of the game, which is where they really messed up, because if you look at the players now, they have a grimoire score, and you don't know where the score is coming from. You're just like,
oh, yeah.
I got a score.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember the grimoire.
Well, it's
a
still
way
there.
to incentivize to reading the lore that they never bothered to put into actual game.
Yeah,
it's Halo all over again. It's Halo all over again because Halo had the same problem, and I don't care what anyone says, but Halo and Destiny are very similar. And if you don't like it,
but at least Halo had the books,
right?
Like if you didn't know the history of Reach, you could go back and read about it. Destiny, it's like, okay, so,
and that's the problem. Like, you have to dig for that stuff to really, like, if you dig with Halo, you can come back to the game and really appreciate it. But like, it's not in there enough to really get you into it,
If it wasn't for channels like Mylan Games and My Name is Bife, there would not really be anything to really tie together the lore of Destiny. So thankfully, a bunch of people got together to do it, but still, a bunch of people had to get together and do it. The company should have been doing something better, because they just throw out tidbits and they don't really tell you exactly what's going on. Like, I still don't know the whole story behind the last word in the first curse, and the whole the Exo Stranger, and then there's Dredgen Yor. I mean, the only real thing I've gotten from that was the stuff that My Name is Bife put out. And what was Fellwinter's lie? Was it he?
Yeah.
Did he lie about?
That was the shotgun, right?
Yeah, that was a shotgun, but it's based on, if I remember the lore correctly, Fellwinter went up to a warlord because back when the light was out, they had warlord before they were guardians. So I think he went up to the warlord of some land and said, "Hey, yeah, we want you on our team, basically." And the guy's like, "Nah, you used to own a whole entire mountain, and then you decided to join their power, or you decided to join them. So what happened?" So they ended up bickering, and Fellwinter ended up using a Titan move because Fellwinter was a warlock. So he used a shoulder charge, smashed the guy in the face, waited on his ghost to come in and start healing him. And he ended up killing the ghost, but I can't remember the rest of the story after that because it's vague. It's like, okay, so what did he lie about?
Yeah.
What was the lie?
Yeah. And I'm mildly curious, but I don't feel like going through the effort just so I can enhance my gaming experience. It's like
I know that's the sad part.
But I'll tell you what, they hit a home run with Failsafe. Love her.
Yeah.
Great
Failsafe is awesome.
She's the freaking claptrap of Destiny.
Yep.
So good job on them for throwing that in there. And you said it's Cade 6, right?
Yeah, Cade 6.
Yeah, I like him too. And they're basically a combo deal. So basically, the most interesting aspect of this game falls into us, these two characters that are together.
Well, I really like Zavala though, because I guess it's because I like playing as a Titan, number one, and number two. When they did the Destiny trailer, the storyline trailer, they completely utilized him, and I like the light that they put him in. I mean, they made him look like he was a stoic figure, and even now, whenever they gave him lines in the actual campaign, he was. I felt like it was serious. It's like game over. We gotta do something, or we gotta fail.
It was badass when the invasion happened. And sorry if you folks are not caught up, but I guess it's kind of spoiler territory. Though it's early on, and he puts up his shield and tells everybody to come in, and he's like. They show the whole thing. He's putting extra effort to hold the shield up. Like,
his feet are being pushed back.
Yeah. So that was pretty epic. Yeah. Zavala does stand out more. I'm trying to think. There aren't really many other characters so far that stand out for me.
I was kind of upset with the fact that Ikora had her moments, but it's like. She didn't really get the same treatment as Zavala and Cade did. Now, granted, I know Cade is popular. Zavala, I guess he's popular too. He's a leader, but whenever it comes to the intelligence, you got Ikora, and they're like, yeah, she does the smart stuff. It just felt like something was messing with her.
Yeah, I think they focused too much on her being depressed. And she was like such a drag in the beginning.
Yeah. And
then finally she turned around like, well, I only have one life to give and I'll be happy to give it. But at first it was like, oh, shut up already. Like, I get it. You're depressed. And you think we don't have a chance. But let's try to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
They did kind of make her a wet towel. Which is a shame because, like, why do the intellectual characters always have to be, like, the emos, Or the hipsters? We have other personality traits and shit. Damn it.
I couldn't figure it out, man. I'm just sitting here like, okay, so Zavala is awesome. Cade is awesome. You have. What does she do? She whines. Okay. Guess I got to deal with that.
I guess it makes sense for a team dynamic. You got the stoic figure. You got the comedy relief, And then you have the person that cries all the time.
All I know is the DLC. It better be good.
Maybe I'll finish the main story tonight.
I'd recommend it, especially if you got time. You ain't got nothing else going on.
Well, the way they set it up though is like they made it so you can't really blast through it because all these level requirements before you get into a certain world forces you to do all this other side shit just so you can get to that level cap.
That's a lie. I was able to finish that game within 12 hours, just like the first one.
Which I'm not mad. I breezed through Destiny 1 much easier than I did this. I feel like they put like false stops in there. But see, like I was trying to ignore the side stuff though. I was trying to just do the story stuff. If you try to just do the story stuff and nothing else, I guarantee you're gonna get stuck unless you just start randomly grinding a respawn point.
I did the story stuff and I finished. Like I said, I finished pretty much within the span of maybe 12 hours.
You didn't farm at all?
I'm trying to think. There might have been some times to where I did do like the lost sectors and everything else, but there was a choke point to where when I got to the final boss, it was like, okay, you reach level 20, but you need X amount of light in order to make a difference here. So I had to go back and I had to do a little farming for light, but you know, once I had my higher weapons, I just went and I finished. And then I worried about getting my my purples and stuff later on.
You must have gotten lucky. You must have gotten some good drops because it's been a little painful for me. Like by the time I got to IO, I was like level 8, and then it's like level 11 required. I'm like, well, I'm gonna just dick around for a bit just so I could get on with the story.
Yeah, I mean stuff like that I had to do, but you know, for the most part, it wasn't difficult stuff to me. I just said, okay.
No, cool, not difficult, but that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making. Is like with Destiny 1, you could breeze through the story and not have to do any side shit. Like you could literally go through the whole story continuously if you wanted to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Here, like there's these false stops. Like they're forcing you to take these excursionary routes. You know. And it sucks all the while all your friends are like talking about, oh, we're ready to raid. Oh, we're doing the nightfall. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Fuck you. I can't do shit.
Shoot, I know I did stuff. I was happy with it. I'm like, cool.
No, not me. I can't wait to get done with the story so I can actually play the real game. Hey, this is like the long tutorial level. 12 hours of tutorial.
I ended up doing, when the raid came out, it was the first night. And the clan I'm with is Dads of Destiny. They're actually, they're affiliated with Dads of Destiny, but they're DLD Exiles.
Yeah.
And yeah,
we did the streaming event with Dads of Destiny. Remember? Weren't you around for that?
I don't think I was around for it. I don't think I was, but you know, they're a pretty cool group too. But you know, we were sitting there trying to figure stuff out. We're like, okay, this is what you got to do. This isn't working out. Okay, this is what you got to do. And the raid is just, it's just big. It's just giant castle, you know.
Yeah, that all gold trim and stuff. The people get stuck on the dogs fuck them up a lot. What I don't like about it is how much you have to repeat the same kind of segments. Like, you finish one area and you have to go back and do the same thing you did before, but a little harder or a little different. I think that repetition is going to be very draining, and it seems like there's a lot of puzzle-solving elements. Because sometimes I just like some good, straight battle elements, you know? With put the mechanics in there, but, you know, all this, carry this thing to here while this person covers you.
Oh, that was so annoying.
Yeah, like, you know, the tedious shit that's like, when you wipe, you're like, fuck, we gotta do all that all over again. Ugh.
Yep. I know it got annoying in the beginning because when you were doing it, you can die and it doesn't really affect you negatively. So you look up and they're sending out the little dudes to stop you and take the stuff back, and then you got to redo that part again, and you know, that part got annoying, but, you know, it was still fun. And, you know, just chilling with the guys and trying to figure out what's going on. Wow. But unfortunately, like any raid, it's like as soon as one person drops out, everybody else pretty much has to drop out because there's no way to finish it.
Yeah, that's what I hate. That's what I hate about it. Like, they have to find a way to address that. Like, when you have that one asshole that's like not fully committed, and you get like all like towards the end or even halfway through, and then like they're like, oh, this is too much. Oh, sorry, guys, I have to go. I have an appointment. Like, why would you start a raid? Like you know, with a raid, it's at least a 2-hour commitment, and that's putting it mildly. Because if you wipe a lot, man, you know you're gonna have those 4 or 5 hour sessions where you're like, I hate my life right now.
Yep, I've been that guy before. It's like I tried to finish, but I couldn't because stuff came up. I'm like, I gotta go. I don't want to go, but I gotta go.
Yeah, if it's unforeseen, it's fine. But I love it when it's people are like, "Oh, I have an appointment. Sorry, bye, guys." It's like that we can't backfill that slot, so now you fucked everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The youngins are the worst. Like, sorry, guys, I gotta go to bed. Like, oh, we just told you. Like, if you couldn't stay for the whole thing, don't bother. You develop that expectation, they still freaking waste your time.
Yep.
And then you have the kids that wanna be carried through the whole raid. Don't bother like learning the mechanics. Just fucking read a walkthrough or watch a video. They'll just go into a raid blind, like, and then people ask you, "Hey, so do you know what to do?" Yeah, let's go. No. Seriously,
I'm not gonna lie. I was that guy before. I'm like, I'm just gonna go into the raid and see what's gonna happen. Just to see what's gonna happen.
I mean, if your group is fine with that, that's one thing. But when it's people ask, like, "Hey, do you know what you're doing?" Like, and you say, "Yeah," and then you don't. Like, that's a whole different thing.
That's true. I don't know, man. Oh no.
Yeah, but overall, Destiny 2 pretty dope. It's the Destiny game we wanted to begin with. So that's pretty much all I can say about it. And it's the game that everybody's playing right now. So if you haven't been playing on Xbox One, hit me up on Xbox Live, Yogizilla. We're recruiting. We're rebuilding the empire. The geeky antics for the empire on Destiny.
I think if I gotta say there's one more weapon that's rated. I think it's the ward clip coil. Everybody's like, oh my god, look at how much stuff it shoots out. I'm over here like, okay. So I just shot a bunch of missiles that missed everything except for a bunch of rocks. That's a good gun. That's a real good gun. Appreciate it.
Well, that's fun though. Like, everybody used to always laugh at the dragon's breath, but I prefer it over the Gjallarhorn, just because, like, in a lot of situations, if you knew how to take advantage of it, it was so useful.
Nah, I love my galley, man. I mean, even whenever I had to do the mission for the Black Spindle, we were down to like, because it's a time mission too, but we got down to like maybe a little bit under a minute, and I'm like, you know what? I still got this thing. I pulled out the Gjallarhorn, the 170 version, and I started going to town on these enemies, and it worked, man. And I got the Black Spindle because of it. I mean, it's awesome. Awesome.
I mean, the Gjallarhorn is fantastic, but it's just everybody. It was like that was the only weapon to have, and then it's like, ugh. And then you got any other rocket launcher, it was like, burr, burr, burr,
I mean, to be honest with you, the Gjallarhorn is mainly the reason why I'm still playing Destiny, because it was my first exotic on PlayStation 4. I was sitting here ready to give up, and I'm like, well, is it even worth playing this game? Tell you what, my first exotic is really going to determine whether or not I'm going to continue to play the game. Sure enough, first exotic, boom, Gjallarhorn. So I said, well, all right then. Guess I'll keep playing.
Yeah. I actually didn't have a hard time getting Gjallarhorn. I pissed off all my friends. Like, my first like couple of weeks, I think I got one. And then I kept getting them. And then I had friends that, like, it took them a year to get their first Gjallarhorn, something ridiculous. It's like, wow, I would have quit. Especially a game where, especially when you have a whole raid whose entire strategy revolves around Gjallarhorn, because no one else can think outside the box. It's like, you gotta have Gjallarhorn. If you don't have Gjallarhorn, you can't join this raid group. It's like, who thought that was a good design choice? to make it so that the only way to really beat that within some sanity, is by having Gallahorns. Now you can beat it without Gallahorns, but it was such a freaking grind without it.
That's true. That's true.
And if you didn't have a good sword runner, it's over.
Yeah. Oh my god! But that raid was epic though.
Crota. Yeah. Crota's end is probably still the best.
Mm-hmm. It forced you to work together, and despite the cheesiness of the unpatched version when it first came out, especially people that would just they would run the game and they'd open the lid up and freeze it to where they could beat Crota, then they'd close the lid and the game would start again. That was pretty cheesy. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, they always have exploits like throwing a grenade at someone's foot and throwing them over the cliff,
Yeah.
But I think I like the last battle in Crota, not the best because of the cheese factor, but everything up to that is fantastic. Like if you actually play it legit and not like take all the shortcuts, like you actually light the lamps and go through all the challenges.
Oh my god, the lamps.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Lamps, and that's another nice touch. It's like that the outside area is so dark, and then things start rushing you, and it just gets so intense. Especially if you have one person that falls behind, you're like, so, do I go back and get him, or do I keep going forward?
It's like an alien movie. You're like, oh, xenomorphs all over the place.
Yep. And it's like this is the part where I trip the fat guy and use him as bait. Oh wait, I'm the fat guy. No.
End up tripping yourself. Wait a minute. Now I got honey on my knees. Family Guy.
Oh god.
It's late.
Endless chicken battle. That's what they need. A random brawl. Fat guy with a giant rooster. Just rolling through all of the Destiny worlds. Randomly.
Oh,
that'd be the part where I'd be like, okay, take my money. You win. You win, Bungie. You win, Activision.
Mm-hmm.
Show me that expansion, please. Anyway, I think we should wrap it there. Maybe we'll talk some more Destiny 2 next week. See where I'm at. If my feelings change.
I know, right?
So, WarChild, where can we find you these days? You're actually online.
I know, right? When I'm alive, when I'm around, look me up on WarChildGames.com. That's where I'm at. All the information's there too.
Word. And I'm easy to find too. Yogizilla everywhere. Now back on Xbox Live in full effect. Twitter's also good. And of course, you could visit our community at geekyanswers.net. We have our podcast page there. We got articles, community calendar, all kinds of good stuff. So make sure to check it out there, geekyanswers.net. And of course, if you want to join us Discord, geekyanswers.net/Discord. I think that covers all the bases. If you want to mail in, write in with your thoughts. Destiny 2, Toys R Us going bankrupt. I don't know, Donald Trump's proposals for a new tax code. I don't know, whatever you want to talk about.
Dying.
Yeah, whatever you feel like talking about. Maybe your favorite dinner combo for Applebee's. I don't know. Whatever feels clever. I want to give a quick plug to Farmhouse in Augusta and Everett. If you come out this way, you gotta go there. They got some good burgers, bro.
Shit, I got vacation coming up soon. Yeah, I saw your post.
Some good alcohol too. Which post? Which post was it?
I think you had left a review on that Yelp about that restaurant.
No, that was probably Bambino's, the New York style pizza.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I do need to leave a Yelp for I need to be a teenager briefly and take pictures of my food. I need to convert to a millennial briefly. Because just looking at these burgers is beautiful. It's like you almost don't feel like eating it, and then you smell it, you're like, I gotta eat it. Sorry, man. But yeah, I had something else to say, but I thought about burgers and I lost it. So on that note, we'll see you next week, guys.
Peace.
Peace.